Hey friends, how are you? I hope you're having a great day today. I'd like to introduce you to this project. This is a sunflower still life project that was created with chalk pastels. This project was designed especially for kids and beginners. You do not have to have any drawing experience at all to be successful with this project. I will take you step by step through the entire process. I'd like to go over the supplies and the materials that you will need for this project. The first thing that you'll need is a piece of paper. I used a piece of black construction paper here. Let me show you. That's a piece of black construction paper. I know you can't really tell that it's a black construction paper because it looks like there's no black on it, but we're going to be covering the whole entire piece of paper with chalk pastels. So you'll need a piece of paper, and then you'll also need some chalk pastels, also known as soft pastels. You'll need a paper towel, and you'll need a mat to protect your workspace. Alrighty friends, I'm excited about teaching you this lesson. Let's get started. Hey friends, welcome to the first step in this lesson. We are going to be drawing our sunflowers and a vase sitting on a table in this lesson. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our white chalk pastel. I've already broken mine in half. The reason why I did that is because it's a lot easier to control the color if I have just half of one as opposed to a whole chalk pastel, and they're very soft. They break usually anyways when you start using them. So I just wanted to break it right away because it'll break anyways. All right, what we're going to do is on the first half of our paper, the half of my paper, halfway point is right here. I'm going to make some sunflowers up here. I'm going to start down here at the bottom because this sunflower is going to be in the front, and then I'll move my way up and back. All right, so I'm going to make a circle about at the halfway point of my piece of paper, and then I'm going to add some pretty pointy petals, just like this, all the way around. Now I'm going to move over here. I'll make another circle, and I will make some more pointy petals. And if I run in to my other sunflowers, I'm going to remember that I need to jump over them so I don't go right through them. Alrighty, now I'm going to move here to the middle, make a circle that's a little bit smaller, and make some petals. And then I feel like I'd like to make another sunflower here with some pointy petals. Oh, I ran into that one. I need to jump over it. It's very, very important that you jump over any flowers that you run into. And then I think I'll make one more over here because I like the top half of my paper to be filled in with those beautiful flowers. All right, so I have my flowers finished, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to move down here to the bottom half, and I'm going to create a small vase. And you can create any type of vase that you like. I'm just going to make a straight line here, and I know that my vase is going to go behind this sunflower, so it'll come out the bottom. So I'll make a little, like a bowl here. And then down here at the bottom, maybe I'll make an oval, and then maybe I'll make some sort of like a little stand down here at the bottom. And now maybe I will make a curved line and a curved line coming out the other side. That will be my table that my vase is resting on. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a couple of stems coming down. So I make two lines pretty close to each other. Let's see, I'll put this stem here going down this way, going into the vase, and then this one is going to have a short stem, and then this one I don't need to create a stem for because he's already inside the vase, the stem is. Now if I'd like to add a couple of leaves, I'll go ahead and do that to add a little bit of greenery. Maybe I'll add one right here. Perfect. Maybe I'll even put one here, even though it's not attached to the stem. There we go, I attached it. Okay, when we come back, what we're going to do is we are going to fill our sunflowers in, and our vase in, and our table in with color. All right, I will see you back here in the next video. Alrighty friends, in this step what we're going to do is we are going to apply color to our flowers. So I'm going to use several different colors for my flowers. I do know that I'd like to use these warm colors down here, and I'm going to start with this color right here. Now the thing about it is you might have different colors available to you, so just be sure to use what you have. All right, I'm just going to go along and I'm going to color in these petals. I outline the line, the white line first, and then I fill in with color. So I outline that white line first, and then I fill in with color. I don't have to get every single space filled in with color because we're going to be doing some blending, but I'd like to have a little bit of color in there. Doesn't have to be completely full coverage, but the more color that you put in, the stronger the color will be. I'll outline this first, and then I'm going to outline each one of these petals, and I'm going to put color inside of those petals. So I'm going to speed up this video. I will see you back here in just a minute. Alrighty friends, I'm back and I'm finished with this color, and I want you to note that there is a little bit of chalk dust, and I'm definitely not going to blow it. We're not blowing our chalk dust. What we're going to do at the very end is we are going to carefully pick up our piece of paper and we are going to put the chalk dust into the garbage can because we don't want it to get everywhere. We don't want it to get all over the table or all over your space, and we definitely don't want it to get into anybody's eyes or face. So we're not going to blow it, definitely. All right, so what we're going to do next is we are going to add a little bit more color into these sunflowers. So I'm going to use this color next. I'm going to break it in half, and I'm going to apply a little bit of color right here. Notice I'm not putting a lot of it, just right here towards the middle, like this, and I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a scribble because I'm going to be blending it. Alrighty, I'm finished with that color. Now I'm going to go to a little bit of a darker orange, and keep in mind, if you don't have these same colors, like I said before, just use what you have. You don't even need to draw your sunflowers with the same colors at all. You can use blues and greens if you'd like. It's completely up to you because this is your art. So I'm taking this darker orange and I'm just putting just a little bit of it close to the center because I'm going to be blending. Just a little bit of that to add a little bit more dimension. All right, done with that. And now I think I'm going to even add a little bit of a darker. This is more of a red, so I'm going to put it right here, just a tiny bit. All right, friends, I'm back. The last thing I'm going to put onto these sunflowers is a little bit of a light yellow, and this is going to go more towards the tip. See how I'm putting this along the tip? I'm going to go around and do that. Alrighty friends, so now I'm finished with the actual flower petals, putting the color on there, applying the color, and we're not going to blend quite yet. I know that you're anxious to start blending with your fingers, but we're going to get our colors onto our flowers first before we start blending. So we need to still do the center. I'm going to start out with a color that looks like this, and I'm just going to fill in the center with this color. And it doesn't have to be completely filled in. All right, that was quick. Now I'm going to go on to my next shade of brown. Add a little bit of that. And then I have one more shade of brown that I'm going to use. Okay, there we go. Now keep in mind we're going to be blending all of these together in just a little bit. All right, the next step is we are going to be putting some color onto our stems and our leaves, and I think I'll use a green. I'll start out with this darker green, and I'm just going to apply color to the stems and the leaves. So outline those and then apply the color. All right, now I'm going to use a little bit of a lighter green, go on top of this one. Remember, I'm not going to fill in completely. I'm just adding a little bit of a highlight here. All right, and then I'm going to move on to this green, and I'm just going to add this to the bottoms of the leaves for a little bit of a shadow effect. Just onto one side. Alrighty friends, in the next step what we're going to do is we are going to apply some color to the background, meaning we will apply color to the background here, also to the vase and the table. So I'll see you in the next video. Alrighty friends, I'm back. And what we're going to do in this step is we are going to apply color to the background, and that includes the actual background here around the flowers and to the base and to the table underneath. So I'm going to start with the table underneath, and I'm just going to make the table brown. And instead of coloring like this, straight up and down, I'm going to turn my chalk pastel onto its side, and I'm going to apply color this way, so rubbing back and forth. This will get quite a bit of color on in a short period of time, but also it has a neat look, a neat effect. Okay, that was quick. Now I'm going to use a different shade of brown, this one right here, the one that I used for the center here. There we go. And then I'm going to use, it's like a gray color. I'm going to use a very small piece, and I'm going to put a little bit of a shadow under here. Okay. Now for the actual vase, I'm going to use this color. It's kind of a peachy, pinky color. And I'm going to just rub it on there. I have it on the side as well. If it goes a little bit into your flowers, that's okay. Whenever I'm working with chalk pastels, I always think they're so dreamy. They remind me of a dream. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more color to this. I think I'm going to add this red on the side. Of course, you can use any colors that you'd like for this. That looks beautiful. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add some blue to the background, but not a dark blue, a lighter blue. So this shade of blue, it's pretty light. And with a dark paper, with a black paper, it makes it look really awesome. I'm going to use the side of my blue. I'm just going to push it along, and I'm going to fill in all the spaces that don't have color on them already. So you might see spaces like inside here. I have some space in here. So this part might take just a few minutes because you want to make sure you get all the spaces covered so you can't see big, huge pieces of black. Alrighty friends, so I'm finished with that background. Now I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue, a different shade of blue, a darker blue, but this is not going to go completely over my other blue. I'm just going to put it in certain spots. I'm not going to take a lot of time with this part. Just want to add a little bit more color to this blue. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a little bit more of a brighter blue on top of this. But again, I'm not going to go over every single spot. I'm just going to put it in little areas so when I start doing my blending, it'll just give it a little bit more dimension. Alrighty friends, so what we're going to do last is I'm going to just put a little bit of an outline on my vase and my table. So I'm going to use this color to put the outline on my vase. And I'm going to use this color to put an outline on my table. Just to cover that white. There we go. Alrighty, so what we're going to do when we come back is we're going to start our blending. I'll see you back here in just a minute. Alrighty friends, so in this step what we're going to do is we are going to be doing some blending with our finger. And you can either use one finger or you can use two fingers. It's up to you. It's the funnest part of the project in my opinion because you get to get a little bit messy. It is a little bit messy, just keep in mind that your hands will get messy. That's why we have our handy dandy paper towel. So what we're going to do is we're simply going to work in a circular motion and we're going to be blending these colors together. What we're not going to do is we're not going to blend like this. We're not going to take our fingers and just go like this because what will happen is all of the colors will blend together and then you won't even be able to see your artwork. All right, so you have to remember that you do one color at a time, meaning I'll start out with my brown spaces, then I will wipe my finger off on my handy dandy paper towel. It's not going to all come off, but a lot of it will. Then I'll move on to my yellow and my green, and I'll make sure that I go step by step so I don't mix up all the colors. Got it? Right, so I start here, and do you see how beautiful that is? When I just start blending, I'm just using my one finger and it's really easy to blend. All right, so that's already done. I wipe the brown off and now I'm ready to start with my yellow. So I'm just going to use my finger and I'm just going to start blending. And all of those colors will be blended together on the petals. Alrighty friends, I'm back. So I have my colors on my petals blended. I'm going to wipe off my finger and I'm going to move to my leaves and stems. Push that color around, blend it a little. You don't want to blend it too much. If you blend it too much, then it'll just blend itself away, okay? All right, now I'm finished with that. I wipe off my finger. I'm going to move down here to my vase. I'm going to blend that. I'm not going to go into the space of my flowers. Okay, there we have that. I clean off my finger. I'm going to move down here to the table. Okay, I'm finished with blending my table. Wipe off my finger. Now I'm going to start with my blue. Alrighty friends, I'm back and boy, my artwork sure does look dreamy. What I'm going to ask you to do now is I want you to look at your piece of paper. I'd like you to look at your artwork and decide if there's any other color that you'd like to add. I think I would like a little bit more definition on these center parts of my flower. So I'm going to put just a little bit more brown along the edges. Blend that just a little bit more. But if there's any more color that you feel like you'd like to put onto your piece of paper, go ahead and do it. This is your artwork, so you should do what you want to do. Alrighty friends, I hope that you enjoyed this project. I'll see you next time.